Greetings, peace of Christ to everyone. Welcome to MaryIsTheNewEvangelization.com. This program basically gets where Mary's coming from on all these issues that we're facing. Her perspective, what would Mary do? Basically, that's where we're coming from here. So the question is, at Franciscan University of Steubenville, Theology Department, we have a little bit of some contention going on there. And I think it's very important because, you have Scott Hahn as, the Catholic rock star. Seriously, you look at his Facebook, he's getting 15,000 likes, anything he puts out there. I mean, not anything, but some of the stuff. 15,000, when you have that many people who are looking at what you're saying every single day, that is very significant. And God said, to whom much is given, much is required. So Scott Hahn has put out all these books, has helped so many people. He's a convert to the Catholic faith. Okay. His wife is a lovely lady. They put the kids to work there, and the homeschool kids work over at the Hahn's house. They give them jobs in the summer and the spring. So that's all commendable. Okay. So, but here is where we get into theology. Okay. So just like you're going to argue Karl Rahner versus, Pope Benedict or something like that, we're going to do that with the top theologians. Okay. So we're not talking personal here. We're talking theology, theological views, and it does get into witness as well. So what's brewing right now is one of the professors made a comment on Facebook against Pope Francis in some way, shape, or form that someone took offense to a couple people. From what I gather, a couple people took offense to it and went to, I guess, the head of the theology department or Father Sheridan. Now, this theology professor, I have heard him speak against the reforms of Pope Francis. Okay, he is not a Pope Francis fan, and the people he hangs with are not Pope Francis fans. Okay, that being said, Scott Hahn, who is friends with this guy, appears to be a fan of Pope Francis, yet Scott's silent on what's going on right now. He's not speaking, which that's a problem. When you have that many people looking to you, and then every time something controversial comes up, you don't say anything, that's a problem. There is a serious disconnect there. A serious disconnect. So you need to get involved in this, Dr. Hahn. And I would say Dr. Bergsman needs to get involved with this. I'm telling you, Dr. Bergsman is speaking all over the country. They brought him in up to Michigan for the ecumenical conference. I can't remember the name of it offhand, but all the libertarians and Napolitano was there. Scott Hahn went to that conference too. So you guys are getting all this exposure, and yet right here you have a situation where, someone is against Pope Francis, his reforms, and they're vocal about it, and you guys are remaining silent. But Dr. Schreck has put a book out called Pope Francis, Saint Francis, in which he's comparing the two. So Dr. Schreck has clearly expressed his thoughts and his views about Pope Francis, and I commend him for that. Okay? Now, in the meantime, Dr. Schreck also hired a woman priest to teach a theology course, Mother Gentle, Judith Gentle. So she dresses like a man, a male priest, and he hired her. So and that is like, there was an article back in 1977 or 1997 about it. And in the article, she's saying, I'm totally 100% Catholic, except I'm not under the Pope. You're not 100% Catholic if you walk around like a male priest. How's that 100% Catholic? It's not. And then claiming that the Blessed Mother supports the women priesthood. So Dr. Schreck hires her, not that she's necessarily, that's not what she was hired to teach, but that to me is confusing. It's very confusing. What are you saying, Dr. Schreck? And I asked to, interview him about it, and he never called me back. Scott Hahn, his latest book, it leaves the Blessed Mother out of the new evangelization. And I pointed that out to him. Now, and he acknowledged it. All I'm saying is there's some conflicting messages coming out of the theology department at Franciscan University. Now, the person who has spoken against Pope Francis's reforms, I think the whole theology department has got to come clean. And they got to say where they stand. Are they with Pope Francis? Are they not with Pope Francis? Every last one of them. And as alumni and parents of children at the university, okay, many donors here are concerned. Okay, we're very, very concerned. Where does the theology department stand on Pope Francis? It's a very simple question, and it's a very appropriate question, especially when your professors take an oath of fidelity to the Holy Father. So I think they should all publicly come out and let us know where they stand on the reforms of Pope Francis. Thank you.